Some places on planet Earth you can't enter. Some are too dangerous, some government protected. One area houses a mysterious civilization that has no participation in the modern world. This is the 14 most forbidden locations on planet Earth. Who's watching me? 14. Chernobyl, Ukraine, Belarus. The Chernobyl exclusion zone is a highly radioactive area around the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine and Belarus. The current area of approximately 1,000 square miles in Ukraine is where radioactive contamination is the highest, and public access and habitation are accordingly restricted. Public access to the exclusion zone is restricted in order to prevent access to hazardous areas, reduce the spread of radioactive contamination, and conduct monitoring activities. Today, the Chernobyl exclusion zone is one of the most radioactively contaminated areas on Earth and draws significant scientific interest for the high levels of radiation exposure in the environment, as well as increasing interest from disaster tourists. It's unlikely that people will be able to live in Chernobyl for at least 20,000 years. The area is still highly contaminated with radioactive materials, and the cleanup is expected to continue for decades. Number 13. The Coca-Cola recipe vault. The Coca-Cola formula is one of the most closely guarded secrets in the business world. Housed in a high security vault in Atlanta, Georgia, the recipe is known only to a handful of individuals. This iconic beverage's ingredients have been kept under lock and key for over a century. The vault is equipped with advanced security measures, including hand scanners, guards, and stringent protocols to ensure its secrecy is maintained. Number 12. Mount Kailash. Mount Kailash is considered a sacred site by followers of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and the Bon religion. It is believed that climbing the mountain would desecrate its holiness. For this reason, it is strictly forbidden for anyone to attempt to summit the peak. Number 11. Heard Island, Australia. Heard Island, located between Antarctica and Madagascar, is part of Australia's external territories. Known for its rugged terrain and active volcanoes, the island is mostly barren and inhospitable. Only a select few scientists are allowed to visit to conduct research on its unique wildlife and ecosystem. The island is one of the most remote islands on the planet. It would take a shipping vessel 2 weeks to reach Heard Island from Perth, Australia, and there have only been 5 private expeditions to Heard Island since 1965. Number 10. North Brother Island, USA. North Brother Island, situated in New York's East River, was once home to a quarantine hospital for infectious diseases. Later, it served as a rehabilitation center. Now abandoned, the island is home to a thriving bird sanctuary. Despite its fascinating history, the island is closed to the public to protect its fragile ecosystem and historical structures. Mary Malone, also known as Typhoid Mary, was confined on the island for over 2 decades until she died there in November 1938. Because of her contagious illness, she had been declared a public menace in 1915. She suffered a stroke in 1932 and was thereafter confined to the hospital. Researchers estimate that Malone had contaminated at least 120 people, including 5 who died. Most of the 25 original buildings still stand, in various states of extreme deterioration. Hence, permits to visit are issued only by compelling academic and scientific purposes. Some buildings are in danger of collapse, and a dense forest conceals the ruined hospital buildings. Number 9. Ise Grand Shrine, Japan. The Ise Grand Shrine is one of the most sacred sites in Japan, dedicated to the sun goddess Amaterasu. It is considered so holy that only members of the Japanese imperial family are permitted to enter the inner sanctum of the shrine. The shrine is rebuilt every 20 years as part of a tradition that lasted for over 1,000 years. Number 8. Surtsey Island, Iceland. Surtsey Island was formed by a volcanic eruption in 1963 and remains one of the youngest islands on planet Earth. While it is an ecological wonder, the island is off limits to tourists. Only a select group of scientists and researchers are allowed access, as the island's ecosystems are still in the process of developing and must be preserved in their natural state. Number 7. Tomb of QinShiHuang, China. The tomb of China's first emperor, QinShiHuang, is famous for the thousands of life-size terracotta soldiers buried alongside him. However, the tomb itself has never been excavated due to concerns about preserving the delicate artifacts and preventing looting. While the burial site is open to the public, the actual tomb remains sealed and has never before been viewed by modern humans. Number 6. Lascaux Caves, France. The Lascaux Caves, discovered in 1940, are home to some of the most spectacular examples of prehistoric art, including over 600 paintings created by ancient humans some 20,000 years ago. However, the caves were closed to the public in 1963 after it was discovered that the carbon dioxide from visitors' breath was damaging the delicate paintings. Although replicas of the caves have been created for public viewing, the original caves remain closed. Number 5. Vatican Secret Archives, Vatican City. The Vatican Secret Archives hold some of the most valuable and sensitive documents in the world, many dating back over 1,000 years. These archives are home to everything from state papers to religious texts and historical records. But access is incredibly restricted. Only a select group of scholars are allowed to peruse the materials, and the archives themselves are not open to the general public. Number 4. Area 51, USA. Located in Nevada, Area 51 is one of the most famous military sites in the world. For decades, rumors have swirled about extraterrestrial activity and top-secret experiments taking place at the highly classified site. The US government only confirmed its existence in 2013, and it remains one of the most heavily guarded and restricted locations on the planet. The perimeter of the base is marked out by orange posts and patrolled by guards in white pickup trucks and camouflage fatigues. The guards will not answer a question about their employers, and if people try and go past the barriers, will first be warned to stop and then shot. On the 28th of January 2019, an unidentified man drove through a security checkpoint near Mercury, Nevada, in an apparent attempt to enter the base. After a vehicle pursuit by base security, the man exited his vehicle carrying a cylindrical object and was shot dead by security officers. Number 3. Snake Island, Brazil. Located only 21 miles off the coast of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Snake Island is home to one of the most deadliest species of snake, the golden lance-head pit viper, which is found in nature only on Snake Island. The snakes became stranded on the island thousands of years ago, following the end of the last ice age, when rising ocean levels disconnected the island from the mainland. With as many as 5,000 snakes inhabiting the island, Snake Island is off-limits to the public for the protection of people and the snakes. Access is restricted to a few scientists and researchers studying the island's unique ecosystem. Number 2. Svalbard Global Seed Vault, Norway. Located on the remote Svalbard archipelago in the Arctic Circle, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault is often referred to as the Doomsday Vault. The facility holds the world's largest collection of plant seeds, intended to preserve plant life in case of global disasters. The vault is in a highly secure location, and access is strictly limited to authorized personnel. The vault's mission is to safeguard genetic diversity, and though it's meant for scientists and conservationists, the general public cannot visit. Number 1. North Sentinel Island, India. As part of the Andaman Islands, North Sentinel Island is home to the Sentinels, an isolated tribe that has resisted contact with the outside world for thousands of years. Known for their hostility towards outsiders, the tribe fiercely protects its land from intruders. In 2018, an American missionary was killed after attempting to make contact, further solidifying the island's no-go status. The Indian government has enforced a strict policy against visiting in order to protect both the tribe and those who would risk their lives trying to reach them.